Hello, my fellow chatterers and book lovers, and anyone else who's popped in because you're curious about what this is or you have got a bit lost. Welcome, everyone. I'm Chatty. This is my channel, Chatty the Mad Chatter, and I will be chatting away madly all about some 5-star predictions. So in this video, I really want to go through some books I have yet to read, I have never read before, and I just feel that I'm gonna love them to the point that they are going to be worth 5 stars. I have done this a couple of years ago, and I really hope to revisit that video next year in 2024, where I will look at what I said I thought were going to be 5 stars and see if they actually were for me, because I enjoy that sort of thing. So on this channel, if you do not know, I only do one take. The camera continues rolling. I only have the power of pause to save me from any chaos, and it doesn't really work. So expect chaos, expect waffle. It's one shot. There is no editing. So cheers, everyone. Clink, clink, clink. So I have, just like I did last time, I have divided up, I've got 15 books to talk to you about. So I have divided them up into piles of 5. So I have a pile of ones where I have read from this author before and loved their work. So I think that kind of puts them at a different level of 5-star, because I already kind of know that I have enjoyed previous stuff, so it is more likely that I will enjoy more of their stuff. I then have ones that I have heard about and have been highly, highly recommended by lots of people. So again, going off other people, I feel quite confident that I'm really going to enjoy them. Then I have ones which are like my gut instinct. It was just, there's something about this book, about the synopsis, that makes me really excited about that book. So I'm going to go in with the first one. So here is my first pile of 5. And one thing I was thinking about when I was just doing this was I think they are mainly newish books. I don't think I've got that many that are quite old on here, but it'll be interesting to see. So first, and also I am predominantly a fantasy reader. I do read a kind of a mixture of things, but fantasy is my favourite, so that tends to be what these are. But I do read across a wide range of ages. So there is a middle grade in each of these. Is there a YA in each of these? I think so. Yeah. So there's a mixture. There's a mixture which I like. And in each pile there is a book that is not fantasy. So there we go. So the first one I have is Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I have yet to read any of the secret projects. I am very excited about the secret projects. But I've kind of been saying all this year, I think because I have been continuing with the Realm of the Eldlings, and pretty much every month I've been reading a Robin Hobb, which is a big adult epic fantasy, which I'm absolutely adoring. And I kind of need to be in the right place and space to be reading those. I haven't picked up so much Sanderson, and again I need those kind of same things. I need to kind of be in the right place and space so it can have my full attention and I can just be in the moment with the book rather than having to like pick it up and put it down all the time. So I really feel that Tress is going to kind of have the same sort of vibes as Warbreaker, just because I know when Sanderson was talking about these secret projects, one of the things that he said was that he really loved being able to write them and just write rather than thinking that he had to get a book out for a particular time, and he hadn't felt like that since Warbreaker. So I think that's one thing that's kind of like stuck in my head. I really enjoyed Warbreaker. I loved the magic system. I loved the characters. It was a really fun one, and I think I just also kind of enjoyed it that we just had that one novel from him for that. So I kind of feel that this might have very similar vibes in that it was I don't know what the word is, but he's not a lyrical writer in any way, shape or form. He's not a romance writer, but there are certain elements of kind of more of a romantic side to it. In that, no, I can't pull it out. There's just something of it that gives me a slight vibe of that, and I can't pull it out and explain to you what it is. But I'm getting the same feelings about this from Tress, like just based on next to nothing, because I have no idea what this is about, because that's how I like to go into my books. But I really enjoy Sanderson's writing. I love his world building. I love his characters. So I feel it would be. I feel pretty confident that I'm really going to love Tress of the Emerald Sea. I don't know what Secret Project 3 and 4 are because I've not opened them yet, because I feel until I've read 1 and 2, I don't deserve to open anymore, or at least read one of them. And The Secret Project 2 just feels like I don't know which way it's going to go. It seems more zany. It seems more like off the beaten track for him, whereas I feel that Tress kind of is more Sanderson bread and butter. So I kind of feel this is his kind of comfort zone, and I'm feeling very confident that I'm really going to enjoy Tress. Okay, second book you will have heard me talk about quite a bit recently, and that's one of the reasons I really wanted to do this video now before sort of reviewing my old one, and that is because I really want to read Blackwater Sister. I will read Blackwater Sister. I've been excited to read Blackwater Sister for a really long time. It is my last Zen Cho book, and I love Zen Cho. And it's one of the books that I'm reading for Gothtober, despite the fact that I'm making this video on the 1st of November. I'm carrying all of my October readathons into November just so I can do them, because I haven't really done them. Anyway, tangents. Blackwater Sister is do you know what? I don't really know. I know we have a protagonist that sounds really fun. She sounds like she's not entirely sure what she's doing with her life. She's got to return to her family home, and there is something to do with kind of like the disembodied spirit of her grandma. I don't know if it haunts her. I don't know if she gets possessed by it, but there's something, and there's just something about an elderly relative in a protagonist's head that makes me feel excited. I read 3 other work by Zen Cho in 2 very different styles. One is more of a kind of a Regency his with fairies, but also kind of like social politics in there as well. So I loved Sorcerer to the Crown. So you have that kind of Regency style and dialogue and wit. And I also loved The Order of the Pale Moon Reflected in Water, which has much more kind of like modern language, but Zen Cho's humour is in there, and it's wonderful, and I adore her authorial voice and how she writes. So I'm so excited for this. So excited for Blackwater Sister. So I needed to talk about how excited and how I predict it's absolutely going to be a 5-star read before I actually start reading it. Okay, next one. I say this one's more one that I feel could go either way. So I have Foxglove by Adeline Grace, which is the sequel to Belladonna. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy. I think this is not the last one. I believe there's going to be like a trilogy or like more in the series. But this is a YA. Well, I don't know what Foxglove is, but Belladonna was a YA gothic romance mystery fantasy, where the protagonist can't die. Well, can't die? Doesn't die. Every time she kind of gets close to dying, she has a conversation with death, and he does not take her. We do not yet find out the full mystery behind that. I believe we're going to get some more answers in this one, but it has a really I love the protagonist. I love death. Anything that's got a personification of death, I just think is so fun. We also have like, you know, these gardens and kind of this cottagecore kind of herbally things as she goes to find all of the belladonna berries. We have this mansion in Belladonna, and this like poor relative, like relative being passed from family member to family member, orphan child going to live with some more relatives. You have like society tea parties where, you know, the level is here, but like all this under stuff is kind of happening at the same time, which is really fun. So it was was not expecting it to love as much as I loved it. So I cannot wait to read Foxglove. I'm going to be reading Belladonna and then Foxglove immediately after, and I think I'm going to have an amazing time. So just talking about it now, actually, I feel that she's gonna hit the mark. I feel she's gonna deliver what was promised, and give us the same vibes that we got in Belladonna. So I imagine now I'm gonna feel confident. I feel I'm not gonna overhype these books. That's always a problem when you start making lists of like 5 stars and you get really excited about them. It's like, oh no, but what if they don't live up to my expectations? Lower expectations, but it's really hard. So yes, very excited for Foxglove to see if I get all of those things again. Okay, I now have one that is not a fantasy. I have Warrior Girl Unearthed by Angelina Boulay. I loved Firekeeper's Daughter. It was one of my favourite books that I read last year. I'm so excited to read another of her books. I have been hoping that she was going to bring out another one, so I'm so excited that she has. I'm presuming that this is a YA thriller because Firekeeper's Daughter was also a YA thriller. And what's exciting is that this is following... so our protagonist in Firekeeper's Daughter was mixed... sorry, there's a lot of fireworks going off right there. Oh, they've stopped now. Great. Yeah, I'm not sure whether or not they are going to stop, but hopefully it's not too loud for you and you can still hear me. So the protagonist of Firekeeper's Daughter, Dornis, was white mother and Ojibwe father. So we explored her kind of identity within that book and kind of how she felt. We are following one of her, I believe they are her nieces, who live in the Ojibwe residence, and sort of how life is for them and how they are. And I am keen to see, I don't know any more than that, other than that's who we're following, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. I found Firekeeper's Daughter like really impactful. I loved Dornis, she was such a strong protagonist. I loved all of the kind of exploration of identity, and I really enjoyed the ride that we had. It was like lots of it was, there were some thrilling moments, definitely kind of coming in there. There were some wonderful kind of heartfelt family moments as well. So I'm very, very keen for more of the same. So I'm very much hoping that that is what we get from this one. Okay, my final book in authors I have read from before, where I am very confident that I like their work. I have Akata Woman. So this is the middle grade I have in here. I think some places it's classed middle grade, some places it's classed YA. So I'm not entirely sure. I know the first book, Akata Witch, is definitely classed as middle grade from my libraries and where I'd come across it before. I read that book a really long time ago. It was published as What Sunny Saw in the Flames. But since then, I have read some more Nnedi Okorafor. I have read the Binti trilogy, which I absolutely loved and adored. It's incredible. I cannot believe just how good the Binti trilogy was. It was amazing. I really loved Akata Witch, so I am very keen to continue with Akata Warrior, but I want to reread Akata Witch first, and I don't own it, so I need to get hold of that. So might not happen for a while, but I definitely feel that I am going to love continuing that series. I feel that I'm going to love Akata Warrior because I had such a great time with the magic system and these 4 different characters, and sort of learning about their magic and how it kind of affects them, and just about their kind of regular life that's separate from their more magical life, and it was just really fun. So I can't wait to see kind of how this deepens and find out more about this world. And I have every faith that Nnedi Okorafor is going to deliver, because her themes, her characters, all of that she did in the Binti series and in Akata Witch, I feel we will get the same in Akata Warrior. Okay, so there is my, oh, hold on. I've got them all kind of like not all spines are facing the same way. So here's my first 5 5-star predictions. 3 of these books were published this year, so that's Tress, Foxglove, and Warrior Girl Unearthed. Blackwater Sister is not that old either. That was 2021. Akata Warrior is the oldest at 2017, which was only like 5 years ago. So none of these are that old. They're all quite recent. I just find that interesting. I just find it interesting to me. So there we go, seeing like where I get my books from. Right, the next 5 are ones that have come quite highly recommended by lots of other booktubers. So I suppose these are kind of like the recommended hyped pile. But I haven't read from any of these authors before, so it's new territory for me. So the first is a middle grade, and it's not a fantasy, it is a contemporary, and that is A Kind of Spark by Elle McNichol. I've heard so many booktubers talking about how amazing this book is. This book follows a neurodivergent character called... We do not get her name there. Is her name in here? Nope. No, okay, I don't know the name of the protagonist, but we have a protagonist who is neurodivergent, and she becomes quite obsessed with the legend of these witches in the local area, that these women were kind of like eventually killed for being different. So she starts kind of unearthing their stories and like getting like sort of justice for them. So it sounds incredible. I love looking at kind of historical stuff like local legends and things, and local historical figures, especially kind of around witches. So that is going to be so much fun. But also seeing this child just take this stand and just hear from this other voice, really, really keen. I hear such amazing things about Albert Nichol's writing, so I cannot wait. I know this is incredibly highly recommended by Jack from Spread Book Joy, who is a massive middle grade reader, so I'm very confident this is going to be 5 stars, and I'm actually going to be reading it this month. I'll be buddy reading this with Tiffany from Towering TBR and also Talia from Bandana Book Mum. So I'm very excited to be able to be discussing it with them on Discord. Okay, the next one is will be very well known in the fantasy circles. It's an adult epic fantasy of an unfinished series, and that is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Again, this is a book where I hear so many good things about. I have also, there's been sort of parts of this that I've spoken about not a linear time structure. I believe this has, which always excites me. I enjoy ping-ponging around a bit. I am worried that this series isn't finished, but I've heard so many people talk about how much they love it. And I know this is a book that one of my friends, Brett, highly, highly recommends. And we have a deal that if he reads the Lycanius trilogy, I will read the 2 Patrick Rothfuss books. So definitely plan to do that. I also got these from my friend Dave, who was just getting rid of a load of books. So amazing. And I am keen to read them. I am keen to do this when the moment is right. So yeah, because of all the hype, I'm pretty confident that I'm gonna enjoy this one to the point of 5 stars. I mean, I have enjoyed things that other people haven't enjoyed, and definitely not enjoyed some hyped books, so who knows, but there is a lot of love for this, despite the fact that everyone has been waiting on the 3rd book for years and years and years. When was this published? 2007. Definitely the oldest so far. There we go. One that is definitely not that old is Final Strife by Sarah L. Arif. I am very excited about this. This is a book that I've heard a lot of people talking about recently and being excited about. It is involving battles, strong female protagonist. I think there's something to do with colours in the magic system. But it was just a way that I heard booktubers talking about this, just how much they went on a journey with it, just how like they had an emotional reaction to it. So I'm just really hyped for it. I'm really excited. I think I'm gonna really love it. I hope I'm really gonna love it to the point of 5 stars. We will find out. Another one that I have heard really good things about. This is the non-fantasy. Is it historical fiction? I think yes, it is. Yeah. This is The Mountain Sing by Nguyen Phan Quay Mei. And I have heard this book's praises being sung. I know Eghe was definitely someone that was singing this book's praises. Again, the emotional impact, it's a generational story. I feel I'm really gonna love it, and we will find out and see if it's true. I don't have a huge amount to say about some of these, just because what sells me on a lot of the books is the way booktubers talk about them, and you can just see how much they love the book, like how excited it's made them feel, and then kind of like keywords like generational story, emotional journey, like all of those things were like, I'll be like, yes, that sounds appealing to me, but I don't want to hear the synopsis. I don't want to know too much about it because I like to go in knowing as little as possible. Final one on this list is one that I've had again for not in the grand scheme of things, not that long, but longish for me, and that is The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin. So this is, I think, is much more kind of whimsical fantasy. It has a lot of elemental magic, I believe, and kind of involving nature. It's definitely like a nature spin to the story and kind of an environmental kind of issue thing to it, I think. I think it follows the seasons as well, which is really interesting. And I heard so many people talking about how much they loved this. And then it was one of their favourites. Haven't heard about it since the hype of its release, kind of, was it last year or the year before? Either 2 years or 1 year ago. It was released around the kind of autumnal time, and I've not heard a huge amount of it since that time, so it has died down from that hyped moment, but I'm still very confident that I'm really, really going to enjoy it. Maybe not 5 stars, but I think it could be 5 stars. I'm trying not to hype it up to myself. I think that's what I'm doing. It's like, this is my 5-star prediction, but maybe not. Maybe let's not put pressure on these books. Let's make sure I still enjoy them. But I do feel it's going to be a really fun one, and I'm really enjoying getting to that moment of being able to pick it up. Like, it's one that I'm definitely anticipating, and I'm just kind of relishing that moment when I feel like, yes, now is the time. Basically, quite a lot of my books I'm kind of in that moment for. Right, let's see if I can do a pile. Okay, so here is the second pile of 5-star predictions. And just because I find the publishing dates quite interesting to me. So obviously The Name of the Wind being 2007, there was a massive gap between that. We then have The Mountain Sing and A Kind of Spark, both 2020. Nature of Witches 2021 and The Final Strife 2022. So all relatively recent releases, apart from The Name of the Wind. So moving on now to my gut feeling choices. And I have quite a few middle grades in here. The first one is a middle grade, and I've spoken about it quite recently because it is on my TBR, and that is Root Magic by Eden Royce. I have only heard 1, maybe 2 booktubers talking about Root Magic, and just the way they spoke about it and how much they enjoyed this book has made me really excited. So I'm really looking forward to hearing more about this kind of ancestral root magic. Hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah, so with root magic, very excited about the magic system. There is kind of like an exploration of the family's like hereditary magic. It's set in the 1960s. There's going to be, I feel like, a racial justice aspect in here as well. And just hearing like the couple of people that mentioned it, it just sounds really good. So I just have a really, really, really good feeling about this, that this is going to be a really good book. The next one I have is one that is, well, no, I have 2. I've got 2 that aren't fantasy. But this one is a contemporary, and that is Jamie by L.D. Lipinski. So as soon as I heard that L.D. Lipinski was releasing a contemporary book about a non-binary character, I thought, this is going to be brilliant. This is going to be amazing, because I hear everyone rave about L.D. Lipinski's The Strange World Travel Agency, which I still need to read, but I've got many other series to get through. It's going to be there waiting for me. I know I'm going to get to it at some point. But Jamie, I just really, really wanted to pick up and get hold of as soon as possible. And I just feel it's going to be amazing. And since me getting so excited about it, I've heard other people picking up and actually reading it and confirming that, yes, it is really good. So very confident that I'm going to absolutely love Jamie. Okay, so the next one I have is not fantasy. It is a sci-fi, and this is Frontier by Grace Curtis. And I'm not sure exactly what it is about this book, but I just feel I'm really, really going to love it. I just think it's going to be one of those books that's just a really fun time. And because of that, I just think it's going to be 5 stars. I just think it's just going to work for me on many levels. I think it's possibly the tagline. Love, loss and laser guns. I just think that works. It just makes me laugh that that is what's written on the back of the book. So we are in space. We have a mysterious stranger come in, looking for someone, and there is a sapphic relationship. And I just think it's going to be really fun. I just think this is a book that's just going to have some heart, have some jokes, and be a great adventure on a different planet. So really looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be 5 stars. We will see. We will see how it goes. This one I know a lot of people are excited for, but I haven't really heard people talking about it afterwards. Oh no, I heard one person talking about that they really, really enjoyed it. But again, this was another one where I just heard about it when it was being released, and I just thought it just sounds like it's going to be great. And that is the Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. This, I think it's one of those, I don't know if it's classed, I don't think it's classed as new adult. I think it is classed as adult, but I think it's one of those ones that could easily kind of like appeal to people who enjoy YA books as well. This is desert fantasy. We have a djinn, we have a quest, and it just sounds like it's going to be a really great time. It just, I'm excited about stories with djinn. I enjoy having an adventure. I enjoy a quest. I think the setting sounds like it's going to be great. I've been really enjoying some of the desert fantasy books I've read recently, so I'm kind of excited about this one. And I just feel, again, there's just something, I just get a good feeling about it. I just have a good feeling, and I really feel it's going to be 5 stars, and I hope I'm correct. And my final one is a middle grade fantasy that I saw in a bookshop, and I was like, oh, that looks so good. And I picked it up and looked at it, but I was on a book buying ban at that point, and I put it back down. I was like, no, it's fine. I don't need it right now. It'll still be there. I'm just very excited about it. And then my mum sent me a photograph of Wilder Than Midnight. I was like, look what I just picked up. And I was very excited because then it meant that I could borrow it, which I have done. It's got purple edges. Yay! So this is, again, middle grade fantasy, already a big tick. 3 friends, all very different characters. We're in a forest. We have physical disability representation. It's an own voice author. It's by Kerry Burnell. And I just think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm very excited for this one. And it has good thoughts from Mum. So that's all good. And I can't wait to pick it up and read it. Right, let's get the book stack. Here we go. The stack of 5 stars that were from my gut instinct. And all of these are very recent. We have Wilder Than Midnight and the Stardust Thief, both 2022. Frontier and Jamie are 2023 this year, and Root Magic is 2021. So all very, very recent titles. So yes, I think I'm very much influenced by what's coming out. I tend to read kind of a lot more newer titles than older ones. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not sure. I'm very excited about books that are coming out now, so yeah, lots of things to look forward to. What are some of your 5-star predictions? I would really love to know in the chat. Have you read any of these? Do you think I'm going to like them, or do you think that they might not be for me? Let me know in the comments, because you know I love a chat. And if you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, because that's always nice. And if you enjoy the vibe, why not subscribe? Happy reading, everyone.